there is, and I speak for the government on this matter, and I can be crystal clear with you that we welcome the ruling. We will make sure that the EHRC work with us to bring forward guidance to address those areas where, through both the guidance and the statutory code of practice, providers have that further clarity that is needed. But I think, women's refuges, rape crisis centres and others can now be confident as to how they deliver services. Those provisions were always there within the Equality Act, but the Supreme Court has set that beyond doubt.
What about questions that come up quite regularly but are important basic questions? Now we've had that ruling. If a trans woman is out in public today and wants to use the toilet, which toilet should they use?
That should be on the basis of biological sex. That would apply right across the board to all single-sex provision. But the EHRC will be setting out additional guidance and a statutory code of practice, because we need to make sure that everyone has the ability to access services that are safe and appropriate and respect their privacy and dignity. So the Supreme Court was clear about the importance of biological women having access to those spaces. But of course, where it comes to provisions such as changing facilities, hospital facilities and others, there needs to be appropriate and available services there for all people, including trans people. And that's why the guidance and the code of practice that the EHRC will set out will be important in this area, and we hope that they can do so as quickly as possible.
And just for clarity, because it is an important point, and as you say, that guidance is being rushed through, but it's not here yet. If you are a trans woman and you're out in public, you need to use the toilet today, it is the men's toilet that you use.
The ruling was clear that provision and services should be accessed on the basis of biological sex. But I know that many businesses, large and small, will ensure that they have appropriate provision in place. For example, many businesses have moved towards unisex provision or separate cubicles that can be used by anyone, where you would not be sharing those. Well, that is already the position in most cases. But as I say, the ruling from the Supreme Court was clear that access to provision should be on the basis of biological sex.
But just what if, and again, I realise that this is a topic that's been talked about, it's a question that's been asked, but it is important. If that third space doesn't exist yet, if there isn't anything other than a male and a female toilet, and you are a trans woman who wants to use the toilet today, which door do you walk through?
You use the service that's available on the basis of biological sex. I appreciate the point that you're asking around third spaces or unisex spaces. In many cases, those do already exist, including in small businesses.
They do.
Go into your local cafe, a local family cafe. Chances are you'll have one cubicle that's self-contained that can be used by anyone with a wash basin toilet inside of it. No. In many cases, just this one toilet that's to be used by everyone. There are important questions around, for example, the use of toilets, around the use of changing facilities, but there are also profound questions that I think are even more important about, for example, hospital provision, rape crisis centres, women's refuges, where you are talking about people often being in that provision on an accommodation basis for an extended period of time. And I think it is important and welcome that the Supreme Court have put beyond doubt that providers can make sure that's done on the basis of biological sex, because I do believe it is important that when women have experienced abuse, male violence, that they are able to heal, that they're able to access that therapeutic support that's required. And what they have said consistently, and what campaigners have worked for over many decades, is to ensure that that provision does exist and can be single sex. And the ruling has made that clear, and made it clear beyond any doubt.
I did say that you're here to talk about breakfast clubs. More than 700